Hey guys, welcome back. I know the next video was supposed to be doing the integrated turn signal and removing that ugly looking license plate thing. I've been waiting for the license plate. I actually got it last night. And I also kind of thought a better video that should come after the oil change is to do the next most important thing after you do your first oil change. More importantly, every 600 miles, you're supposed to clean and verify your chain to make sure that the tension is correct. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about different types of stands, how to use them, swing arm spools, how to put them on, why you want swing arm spools versus the nice little rubber pads that come on the other side of the stand. We'll install all that, we'll use it all, we'll clean the bike, we'll clean the chain, and we'll go through the process of verifying your chain's adjustment to see if we actually need to adjust the chain. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to show you some basic tools and some basic things I think you should own if you want to do maintenance on your motorcycle. So for starters, you're going to want some kind of stand. These stands are pretty nice because they can do multiple things. One, you can flip them around and you could pick up any style type motorcycle you want with the rubber ends, but they are not exactly all that stable. The other side are these little hooks here that will allow you to use some kind of swing arm spool, which will make it considerably more stable while it's in the air, which, let's face it, we don't want to drop our bike, so that's the best bet. So we're going to put these little swing arm spools on here today, and what we're going to do is use some blue Loctite to make sure that they don't fall off. I will say the first motorcycle I ever bought, I put a set of swing arm spools on. I chose not to put some Loctite on them, and I lost one of them within the first week. To me, it's very important that we do that. I'll go ahead and show you how to do that right now. We'll get these swing arm spools on. I'll show you how to use the rear stand to pick up your motorcycle and get it set up so that you can clean your chain, and also so you can take your rear tire off if you need to and get a new one. The front stand isn't necessarily as needed as the rear stand. You're going to be using the rear stand way more than the front. If you want to save money, you will take off your own wheels and go pay for tires, and they'll usually put them on for free or a very small charge at Cycle Gear for you. If you bring the motorcycle in, most Cycle Gears won't even do that for you. They won't take your wheels off and swap out your tires for you. You'd have to go to a motorcycle shop. So you're talking about considerably more money when it comes to buying tires. And if you know anything about super sports or bikes like this, you're going to run through your rear tire roughly about 4,000 miles, and you'd be lucky to get 7,000 to 8,000 out of your front. So you're going to go through tires fairly quickly. The best way to save some money with that is to be able to take off your own tires yourself, as well as do your chain adjustment. You need to clean your chain per manual every 600 miles, which means there's a possible chance of adjustment, so you need to check it every 600 miles as well. For the most part, the cleaner you keep your chain and the more you keep those seals inside that chain lubed, the longer your chain is going to last, the less it's going to stretch, the less you're going to actually have to do the adjustment on the chain. So if you notice here, there's two spots that you can put your swing arm spools on. I'll put a link below. You can buy really any swing arm spools. I mean, you can get crazy with them if you want different colors. Like you could have maybe got one that's got, you know, maybe a little teal if you wanted to follow the current color scheme of the bike or not, or red or whatever. But we're just gonna put some black ones on there because they're clean. And we're gonna be using a Loctite 242. You want the blue Loctite. I'll be trying to put red stuff in here. You might not ever get them off. There's a little dab of Loctite. There we go. And that Loctite, like I said, will keep them from coming off. That's what we want. And then for the same thing on the other side, just gonna put a little dab of Loctite on there. All right. And now we can actually use our rear stand the way it's supposed to be used. If you have this kind of stand, you'll see here on the back you have these little rubber pads right here. And then on the other side, if you take these bolts out, you can flip them over and you could use these, which will fit right into that swing arm spool and be considerably better at picking up your, definitely safer for sure. And you can just flip them over like so. Don't tighten them all the way down because you will have to slide them in and out depending on the width of your bike's swing arm and how far your swing arm spools stick out. I've seen them stick out quite a ways. They're almost kind of like a little bit of crash protection. Might save a little bit of the rear swing arm, or at least maybe some of the adjustment areas. Another reason to have swing arm spools, a little bit of extra protection. All right, and being as careful as possible, trying to get one side under here. And you can line up one. You can tell we're way off. So we're gonna loosen it up, slide her over, trying to make it as even as possible. on each side, so we'll make the other one a little bit longer as well. So once they're on there, from there you can rotate the bike up. And go ahead and lift. And now I got these in the spot I want. I'm just gonna tighten them back down. Just go slow with it, make sure it's fit. Once you set this up the first time, unless you have multiple bikes, you should be set and not have to take this thing apart very frequently. So now that we got all that set up and we're ready to start actually doing a little bit of maintenance on our bike, we're gonna go ahead and take it outside, put it back up on the stand, and I'm probably gonna wash the bike. We'll use the chain cleaning tool to clean it. We'll go ahead and re-lube it with some chain lube and verify the chain tension. So something I have personally used forever is a kerosene for cleaning the chain. It is soft on the seals. It definitely cleans very, very well. And I think it has a lot to do with the type of chain lube you use, depending on whether or not it's gonna leave gunky, greasy stuff all over your rims and all over your bike. This stuff definitely just strips it all off for sure. But there's a couple ways to do this. Now, the easiest way is probably the worst way, and I'm not showing you that because it's, in a general sense, kind of wrong, which is you start up the bike, put it in first gear, and then control it by clutch, which is generally what I do, but I will teach you the right way to do it, which is like this. Just spinning your tire, and the main reason is because you're gonna use this brush. And with this brush getting inside, if you're actually in gear running, you're not gonna be able to control whether or not it actually hits you, or this brush will get so stuck right under your, and I went the brush. These brushes are so cheap. You guys will go through multiple of them as you go. But I've had them go under the sprocket, and that's not cool. That's not safe. So I'm not showing you guys that. It is a way to do it. It is the way I usually do it. All right, so now that I got that done, my next step is usually to go straight into washing the bike. Now you'll definitely want to take the key out because you don't want anything going in. I just use like a wash wax for cars, really. Now before we lube it, we really need the chain to dry as much as possible so that the lube actually sticks to it. Like in many instances, if I didn't live on a dirt road, I would be more inclined to go ride the bike like a mile or so just so the chain would dry off. But like I said, I live on a straight dirt ass road. So we'll just try and help dry it up a little bit with a cloth. And really the only thing we need to be drying here is the seals, because the only thing you really want to lube on this chain is the seals. You're not lubing the whole chain like it's a mountain bike chain. You're only lubing the seals inside of the chain. That crap off of there. That little red long. This is obviously a better way to do it, but it wouldn't go in there, so it won't go in the can. So we'll improvise. All right, she's all cleaned up and ready to go. So the last thing we need to do now that our chain is clean and lubed up, we need to go ahead and verify the slack on it and see if we're still within spec or we have to adjust or not. Okay, so here's the manual. I'll say this is by far one of the easiest I've ever seen. The way you're supposed to do this is instead of trying to measure the chain top and bottom in two different locations, you need to measure from the bottom of the actual chain guard that is on the swing arm. You have in between 1.77 inches and 1.97 inches, which in my opinion is probably easier to do metric, which is 45 to 50 millimeters. If we get down here, we can see the chain guard right here. So if you were to match it up right there and push down to 60 right now. So this is definitely looser than it should be. We won't do that today because this video will be considerably longer. This is how you would check it. All right, thanks again for watching, guys. Obviously, I have a little work to do. The chain is definitely out of adjustment by about 10 millimeters. I don't want to make this video take forever, so I'll go ahead and do that here shortly, make another video out of it, and I'll post that soon. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week.